evening, I'm Bob Chipman, and this is the latest thing that we are throwing against the wall to see if it works. Mars Candies has indicated that in order to comply with new nutritional guidelines for regulating the use of artificial food dyes ordered by the Trump administration's Department of Health under RFK Jr., M&M's may be forced to phase out the blue and brown colored candy sometime next year. Blue, of course, first joined the M&M's color roster in 1995 via a nationwide customer voting contest, which means that literally, even when it comes to candy, the Trump administration's go-to policies are get rid of the brown ones and blue votes don't count. Walt Disney Studios is officially the first U.S. movie studio to hit the $3 billion profit mark for 2026. While good news for investors and shareholders at the studio, the news is expected to be received less enthusiastically by the once robust job market for photoshopping generic thumbnails for YouTube, indicating that Disney is totally dying because a girl was in a Star Wars movie 10 years ago. Hard to mark that down on your LinkedIn. Good luck out there. Thundercats, a 1980s animated cartoon and action figure line about muscle-bound space warriors who are half human, half cat, is now in development as a feature film at Warner Brothers. Reached for comment, executives at the studio explained, "Well, we saw how He-Man lost all that money and said to ourselves, you know what would have prevented that $200 million movie based on a cartoon that was popular one time about 40 years ago from bombing? If it was also cats." I am now being told that this new version of Thundercats will actually be an animated movie. You know what? Yeah, maybe that actually will work. I am now actually being told that Thundercats has been rebooted twice in the past before as animation, and it did not work then either. Good luck out there, boys. Sony has announced that the PlayStation game console brand will officially phase out use of physical video game discs and move to a download-only business model going forward in 2028. So that means prices of games will come down, right? Said a guy who has never once done business with Sony before.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Elon Musk, who apparently accepted a personal challenge at some point to become the second worst thing South Africa is remembered for, has taken up amplifying bizarre online attacks via his social media site formerly known as Twitter on Christopher Nolan's upcoming Greek mythology action movie The Odyssey, centering on objections to the film's supposed historical inaccuracies, in particular the casting of a black actress to play Helen of Troy, because rigid adherence to reality and history is always the first thing I'm expecting out of a movie where Matt Damon will battle the Cyclops. Several prominent right-wing intellectuals and media celebrities have lent their voices to Musk's anti-Odyssey crusade, and also formerly known to exist actor Kevin Sorbo. Notably, Sorbo's relevant expertise on matters of depicting ancient Greek history and mythology on screen date back to having played the title role of Hercules in the Hercules and Xena Warrior Princess universe of syndicated television series in the 1990s, which is why you'd think he'd remember that those series' versions of Greek mythology also cast a black actress as Helen of Troy. Not spending a lot of time on your own IMDb, huh, Kevin? Can't say I blame you. In horror movie news, Paranormal Activity Part 8 will arrive in 2027 and be directed by Ian Twassen, with Maya DaCosta, Chase Yee, and Sonia Mina all joining the cast. In news to me, they apparently kept making Paranormal Activity movies after Part 4. Okay then.
I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was.
Nintendo recently revealed that over the past 3 years, the company had raised base salaries for its employees in their main Japan branch by 10%, in what Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa described as a move to retain talent. Reached for comment, representatives from Microsoft responded by closing 4 more Xbox development studios and announcing the execution by firing squad of Crash Bandicoot. Zack Snyder will direct a modern reimagining of John Carpenter's Escape from New York. The new film is expected to depart from the 1981 original, widely regarded as one of the greatest action movies of its era, by featuring a new cast of modern actors, updated production design and special effects, a storyline that reflects topical events and present-day sensibilities, an updated modern score and soundtrack, and being really, really bad. A new trailer debuted this week for Practical Magic 2, which reunites original stars Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman as witches who, oh, I'm sorry, you don't care? Well, my mom is really excited, so how about you go how about that? It's not always about you. Pierre Coffin, the director of the latest Minions movie, recently clarified that, once again, none of the Minions have ever worked for Hitler because, and I quote, they were frozen in that cave during the events of World War II. So Pierre, I'm not going to tell you how to make your movies, but you understand that it's weird that you both have to A, explain that your baby talk cartoon characters definitely never worked for Hitler, and B, that the explanation is not because he was Hitler, right? And also, maybe I'm just getting old, but I feel like this didn't used to come up as often about cartoons when I was a child. I don't recall anyone ever saying, you know, the Care Bears are nice. I wonder what they were up to during the war. Hong Kong Phooey, he's a chill guy. I sure hope we don't find out he was like a guard at Auschwitz. You know, just different times, I guess. Sean Penn will direct and Bradley Cooper will star in a topical drama about a U.S. Capitol Police officer who is caught in the January 6th riots. Reached for comments, all the most annoying people on both sides of your family have already blocked each other on Facebook about this movie. So, happy next couple Thanksgivings. Despite having already confirmed that the upcoming film Spider-Man Brand New Day will feature appearances by multiple classic villains including the Scorpion, Tarantula, Boomerang, Tombstone, the Hand, Anti-Hero the Punisher, and a potentially once again unfriendly incarnation of the Hulk, many fans are still convinced that the film will actually feature a surprise secret villain, pointing to such supposed clues as the appearance of actress Sadie Sink as an as-yet unidentified character in the film's trailers, and the use of voiceover narration by instantly recognizable but not yet officially cast actor Keith David. In lieu of making any explicit guesses myself at this time, please instead enjoy the following Family Guy clip.
Jackal! It's a jackal! It looks like a jackal! 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 It's a jackal! Jackal!
Yeah, I know, but like, what if I'm right, huh? How fucked up would that be?
That was a particularly harrowing memory.
Steven Spielberg will produce a feature film adaptation of Mandela Catalog, an internet video horror series about shape-shifting creatures that torment victims into ending their lives in a small Wisconsin town. The film marks the latest in a recent trend of big-ticket horror franchises launched from YouTube following the success of Backrooms earlier this year, a phenomenon that will only continue to produce unique, interesting new opportunities for original filmmakers and definitely won't run off the rails in the form of some producer backing a truckload of money up to Tom Holland's house to do Raid Shadow Legends the movie a couple years from now. On the other hand, hey Hollywood, somebody please pay me a few $1,000s for my screenplay about a man being chased through a spooky liminal warehouse by an unskippable ad for Casper mattresses. And The Batman Part 2 is now, after many production delays, apparently finally set to release in October of 2027, at which point Warner Brothers is pretty sure that most audiences will have finally finished watching The Batman Part 1 all the way to the end. I'm Bob Chipman, and that's the big news. If you want to see more of the show, please watch our other shows and support us on Patreon and all the other assorted funding links you've seen plastered all over this episode and elsewhere on the channel. Thank you very much.